So all we can do is keep the commandments and keep and the faith in Christ.
Right.
Because the names here, it's all gonna be something different. We learned something that was not the original etymology. Read on.
For I will take away the names of Baalim.
He's gonna take those names away. Those names that we've been taught that are not his actual names, he's gonna take them away. Read.
Out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name.
We're not even gonna worry about that because at some point we're gonna be saved from this place and we're gonna be given a new language. So now what we must do is to teach our people what is necessary for salvation. What must we do? We know we're not supposed to do Thanksgiving, so what should we be doing? That's the question that we should ask ourselves. Let's get Sirach 33 and verse 7. Ecclesiasticus 33 verse 7.
Bring it out!
Because just like the names here have been taught, we've been taught lies, so are the holidays. My man, what's your name again? Darius. So we know we're not supposed to do Thanksgiving, but what about when your birthday come around? We supposed to be doing that? Do you think we're supposed to be doing that? What about a month from now when Christmas comes around? Are we supposed to be doing that? What about January 1st when it's the new year?
That's right.
Are we supposed to be doing that? When it's the so-called new year, excuse me. Think about it like this, right? An octopus has 8 legs, right? And October is the what month of the year? Is it? So what's up? Why is October the 8th month, not the 8th month? What about November? In Spanish, it's nueve or nove. It's supposed to be 9. Is November the 9th month? What about decade or decimal? Is December the 10th month? So whose calendar are we following? Whose God are we really behind when we reverence these days? You have to understand that everything is set up by design. And us celebrating holidays is making a mockery, thus us celebrating the holidays of our oppressor is making a mockery of our own enslavement.
That's
All
right.
right, read that.
Sirach 33 and verse 7.
Bring it out!
Why doth one day excel another?
So he's asking a question. Why is one day more important than the other? Right? Read.
When as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
Sun comes out the same way every day of the year, and it's the same sun every day. So why is God making one day more important than the other? Read.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
By what?
The knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
So Darius, who distinguishes what days are more important than others? The Lord does, not man. We can't follow after man-made holidays, man-made ideas. That's following after the devil. Read.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts.
And he altered, meaning he changed seasons and feasts, because every season has a feast day according to the Bible. Right? Just like we have July 4th in the summertime, we have Christmas in the wintertime. The Lord has it set up the same way, it's just in righteousness and not in following after a deity that's not ours, after a God that's not ours. Read on.
Some of them have he made high days.
So God made some days high. God made some days more important. Read.
And hallowed them.
He separated them. Right?
And some of them have he made ordinary days.
So some of these days that the sun comes out every day, it's just an ordinary day. So we got to make sure that when those days come around, we're reverencing the days that the Lord set up and not man or not the devil. We got to be real careful about the days we hallow, the days we separate. You understand? Let's get Leviticus chapter 23. And you got to find where dedications at after you read verse 1 and 2. You understand that, Darius? Frida, you understand that? Did you understand that? What we just read? Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. What nationality are you in the Bible? The tribe of Judah. How long you been knowing that?
I just got into it.
Okay. So all we here to do is to help our people grow in understanding and following the laws in Christ. That's all we're here to do, okay? You got that? You want verse 1? Yeah.
Leviticus 23 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
So my man, Saul, right? Rasul. When it says speak to the children of Israel, who is that today? Us. Beautiful. Read on.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
So he's speaking to us, right? Concerning the feasts or the holidays of who?
Of the Lord.
So the Lord has feast days. We were taught Thanksgiving here. We were taught Christmas here. We were taught things like our birthday here. But God has days that he has set up for us. Okay, read.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
You know what a holy convocation is? What do you think it means, convocation? To talk. So when you talk to somebody, who has to be there? A person. So a holy convocation is when you're together with your people. Just like when Christmas comes around, you get together with your family. When God's high holy days come around, you have to get together with who? Your people. Your people who keeping the same holidays that we're supposed to be keeping. Which right now we're in the middle of what the world calls Hanukkah,
right,
or Feast of Dedication. It's our heritage. Read.
Even these are my feasts. Even these are my feasts.
It says, even these are my feasts. Because the Most High God has days in which he wants us to be together to reverence him.
right.
Not us to be together to worship the devil.
Right.
Not us to be together to worship or commemorate the slaughter of our own people. Do you watch football at all? You watch football? What teams are playing today? You don't know? My man right here, Darius. You watch football at all? Who's playing football today? Say it in the mic, man.
No, the main game.
The main game. Today, the Houston Texans are playing the Redskins. And they're going to whoop them, right? Who else is playing? The Cowboys is playing the Lions. So what do you think that those games represent? When you're watching the Redskins get whipped on Thanksgiving, what does that represent? When you're watching the Detroit Lions get whipped every year, what do you think that represents? Because it's something you got to understand is that, get Jeremiah 6 and 6. What do you think that represents? Who are the Redskins in this scenario? Who are the Lions in this scenario? And why do they get whipped every year? Day in and day out, every year without fail.
But that wasn't even the normal schedule. It used to be the Cowboys and the Redskins playing. But because a lot of controversy, what happened was they changed the schedule. They never used to play the Lions.
Right? No, those two teams, no matter who they play, those two teams every year get beat by somebody.
Right.
It's the Lions getting beat by the Eagles. It's the Redskins getting beat by the Cowboys. It's somebody representing one of the tribes of Israel getting beat by what represents our oppressor. Read that, Jeremiah 6 and 6.
Jeremiah 6 and verse 6. For thus hath the Lord of hosts said, hew he down trees and cast a mount against Jerusalem. This is the city to be visited. She is holy. Was that holy? She is holy oppression in the midst of her.
She is holy oppression in the midst of her. So make sure that when we are celebrating days that we're not celebrating our own oppression. When you watching the Detroit Lions getting whipped, you watching a game that summarizes your tribe, Revelations 5 and 5. You watching a game that's supposed to represent your tribe being destroyed. Those Detroit Lions represent you. Read that.
That's right.
Revelation chapter 5 and verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah.
The lion of the tribe of Judah is Jesus the Christ. The Lion of Judah. Read.
The root of David hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
So we got to make sure that we understand our oppression and the extent of it in those days that we set aside. Now we have to go back to Leviticus 23 and read verse 1 and 2 again. How we doing, sis?
Come right here.
What's your name? Beverly? How you doing, Beverly? I'm Khalil. What we're doing, Beverly, is we're teaching our people their nationality according to the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible, Beverly? You do believe in the Bible. Do you know your nationality in the Bible? No. Okay. Give me Isaiah 1 and verse 3 first. You not knowing that, Beverly, it fits prophecies that we have to be able to share with our people. There was a reason why during slavery we weren't allowed to read. But now guess what? These men up here, we know how to read, we know how to decipher our own Bible to come out and teach the people who the Bible's about. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So right now God's comparing his people to an ox. An animal you can lead miles away from home, but it will find its way back. Right? Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
An ox and a donkey. They know their master's crib. They know where they're from. Read.
But Israel,
that's who we are according to the Bible. You won't read African American in this book. You won't read Mexican. You won't read colored. You won't read Negro. In its place, you'll read Israel and the 12 tribes. This is who we are in the Bible. Read.
But Israel doth not know.
We don't know because we're not being taught. We have churches on every block, in every city, in every state, across the whole world, not being taught the Bible on purpose. Being taught to sing songs and clap our hands, but never have any history of who we are revealed or shown to us. Now, this is how we know we the children of Israel. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. When you examine the conditions of our people, Beverly, what do you see? Is it all good for us right now, or is it bad? It's not. It's all bad. Why do you think it's all bad?
I was going to ask you a question.
You're not sure? That's a great answer, because before I learned the truth of who we are in the Bible, I didn't know either. But the Lord reveals all of our conditions through prophecies. All right, read that, verse 15.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
These are prophecies. It shall come to pass. This is Moses speaking to us in the wilderness. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
It says, if thou wilt not hearken or hear the words of God. Read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To do what?
All his commandments.
So if the children of Israel are not hearing and doing all of God's commandments, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Let me ask you this. When you look at our people, blacks and Hispanics, are we keeping God's commandments collectively? No. Read.
That all these curses
All these.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it says that when we are not keeping God's commandments, we'll be in a cursed position. Now, we should be able to shed some light on why you see blacks and Hispanics at the bottom of society across the world. It's because we are not keeping God's commandments. Read verse 68.
Verse 68.
Bring it out!
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So this is a curse from God. It says, because you're not keeping my commandments, you're going to go into Egypt again. Now, does anybody out there know what the Jews was doing in Egypt the first time? Under Pharaoh, 18th dynasty, what was they doing? That's what the Egyptians were doing, but to who? That's what the Egyptians were doing to the Israelites. So that's what the word Egypt means. It means slavery or bondage. That was their condition in Egypt. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's saying to the Israelites, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to put you in Egypt or slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did the so-called black people get to this world, to this side of the world? By ship.
That's right.
Hold on. That happened to us. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So the Bible's a real book. Whether you believe it or not, it says, just like I'm prophesying in the Bible, this is how my people are going to go into slavery.
That's right.
Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
That's talking about our homeland. We wouldn't see it. Since we've been here in America, have we been back to our homeland, Beverly? Do we know where our homeland is? Where? In Egypt. So are we Egyptians? You sure about that? What makes you think that we're Egyptian? What is somebody showing you to prove that you are an Egyptian? Do what you want. I'm asking you. I want to find out where your mind is at. Nah, because you got to get the point first. No, we're not Egyptians. There's no scholar that can ever prove that can ever link the history of our people, the so-called African American, with an Egyptian. Just because we have the same skin tone and we lived in the same continent does not make us the same race. Put that in Exodus 11, real quick.
Exodus 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel.
That's who we are. We are the children of Israel. Our homeland is Jerusalem. Read.
Shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference.
Put a what?
Doth put a difference between the Egyptians.
Between who?
The Egyptians and Israel.
There's a difference between us. Just like there's a difference between a Japanese man and a Chinese man. You call a Japanese dude Chinese, he's going to correct you. He's like, I'm not Japanese, I'm Chinese. Our people have been at war for centuries. Now, we as the children of Israel must know that there's a difference between us and the people who at one point had us in slavery. We are not Egyptians. Those Egyptians are 7 feet tall, real skinny, the real African. Read. I'll go back to Deuteronomy 28.
Verse 28. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What people do you know on the earth that went into slavery on ships and got sold? What people? Read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
That happened to us, right? That's talking about the transatlantic slave trade from the west coast of Africa all the way to here. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Now, what people do you know on the earth that went into slavery on ships and then got sold once they got off that ship? So, if the Lord is speaking to the children of Israel, saying, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to put you on ships, and we went into slavery on ships, who does that make us? That makes us the Israelites. Read on. Read verse 1 of the next chapter.
Hey, that's my brother AJ right
What's going on, AJ? How you doing, bro? I'm showing these sisters right here their nationality in the Bible. What is your nationality? Hold on, sis, don't leave. Because you knowing that you can't just walk away from that. There's responsibilities that go along with that.
Right.
You being an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, there's something you must know. You've never heard that before, so I'm kind of baffled why you would want to walk away. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. Don't be scared of knowledge. Don't be scared of truth when it comes to uplifting your race. There's nothing more important than that. Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12.
That's right.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
You said what? And now, Israel,
That's you, Beverly, Israel.
what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So us being from the tribe, from the nation of Israel, and God requiring something of us, is there any way around it? Can we get outside of God's requirements? Walk in all of his ways. Not the ones we want to pick and choose, not the ones that sound good, all of it. Thanksgiving is not of God, we're not supposed to be doing it. Christmas is not of God, we're not supposed to be doing it. Women wearing pants is not of God, they're not supposed to be doing it. Men wearing dresses is not of God, they're not supposed to be doing it.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.